And now it's time for Houston's hottest relationship advice talk show, Love in Black with Tory and Teri. This show is sponsored in part by Gracie's on Kirby in Houston, Texas, and the Carrabba's Family Restaurants. And now your hosts, Tory and Teri.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Love in Black with Tory and Teri.
Happy Saturday, y'all. Hi, honey. Happy Saturday to you all, you beautiful, exceptional listeners. I am Teri. This is my husband's Tory, and he and I together come intentionally to share spiritual, clinical, and real-world healing words to move you forward. Huh?
Yeah. So in case you wonder why my wife gave that type of introduction, we do have new listeners. So we get this question, hey, do you have to be black to listen to Love in Black? So we just want to let everyone know who we are just once again, even though we've been here for a while. We are National Board Certified Christian counselors, and we are the creators of Love in Black with Tory and Teri.
Absolutely.
And no, you don't have to be black to listen or to watch. All you have to do is be in love or want to be in love. So what we do is the black in love in black is just a financial metaphor for keeping your love in the positive.
Like your finances, you want it in the black. Today, we are featuring this. When you say I do to your career, are you really driven or avoiding?
You know what? I haven't had the opportunity to publicly say this, so I'm taking my hat off. Anyway, to my beautiful wife, she has a new book out. She's co-author with a bunch of other women, and I don't know, how was it, 29, 30?
Some boss women.
Some boss women. And we had one of her boss babes that was on the show a few weeks ago. But anyway, I hadn't had an opportunity to officially say, congratulations, baby. We love you on the book. And if you don't have the book yet, go to her website at askterilynn.com. Click on the shop section and you'll see the book there. And the book is entitled Boss Babes Who Pray. And what is it? It is
Exposing the lies of the enemy.
That's right.
Thank you, darling.
Baby.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, honey.
Good job.
Listen, we got a lot today, right?
We do. And we will be right back with Miss Sabrina Lott, and we're going to be talking about women that are married to their career.
Yeah. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, Brian in Valencia here with Gulf Coast Jules.
And we have a wonderful special for you guys that are listening to Love in Black. We're doing personalized jewelry and beads for 20% off. Make sure you guys use the code LOVEINBLACK to receive that special gift from your family at GC Jules.
And make sure that you guys follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Shop GC Jules. We'll see you soon.
And now, back to Houston's hottest relationship advice talk show, Love in Black with Tory and Teri. This episode of Love in Black with Tory and Teri is brought to you by Gracie's Restaurant on Kirby Drive and the Carrabba's Family of Restaurants. If you would like to be a guest, sponsor, or advertise, contact us at info@loveandblackwithtoryandterry.com.
Our guest today is a phenomenal mompreneur. She is a sacrificing, ambitious baddie who has mastered work-life balance. Give it up for the lovely Miss Sabrina Lott.
Sabrina, thank you for coming.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm good. A little tired
Yeah,
but
she's busy.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You know, I have this thing called Rapid Fire. Right?
Okay.
So what it does is it gives the audience a peek into who you are, a little background.
Sure.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do our thing.
Let's go.
Don't pay attention to him.
Okay.
By the way.
Okay.
This is my thing. This is our thing.
Okay, it's a girl.
Okay. Here we go. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay. Gymnastics or volleyball?
Volleyball.
Okay. Playing house or Barbies?
Barbies.
Sarah Jakes Roberts or Priscilla Shire?
Sarah Jakes Roy.
Okay, look at her. She's killing it. Natural hair or salon finish?
Natural hair.
Okay. Mother, mom?
Mother.
Okay. Boss lady, first lady?
Boss lady.
Last but not least, I love you more.
I love you more.
Yay, that's a mom for you.
What's a mom versus a mother?
Well, when I put that there, I meant, do you want to be called mother or do you want to be called mom? What are your kids called? Do they call you mother or mom?
Well, it depends. If they want something, it's mommy.
Right.
If they're endearing, it's mommy. Or my big girl says, mama.
Oh, cute.
Or, we have a little Spanish thing in our house, so they say mama sometimes. If they're mad, yes, ma'am.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think
variety
mother
of it.
comes when you get a little older. You
Probably
use the
so.
term mother.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
something we grow into.
Yeah.
I just say, hey. Anyway,
Better not ever.
Sabrina, why don't you tell our audience who you are, what you do, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I own a company called B3 Media Group.
Okay.
It encompasses a publicity company, B&B Publicity, a management company, Dean Entertainment, and a production company, BRI Productions.
Really?
And I'm also a partner in a company called Freelo Production with my partner, Al Freeman. And we do comedy
What's
shows.
up, Al?
Yeah,
Yay.
comedy
Al was
shows.
supposed to be here
Oh,
today.
yeah.
And he's out on the road. But yeah, so that's it in a nutshell that I do career-wise.
So, our topic today is women that have chosen a career over their, a significant other, right? Their significant other is their career,
Right.
right? And we had a conversation the other night, and you was telling us that that was pretty much your case.
Right.
So we were like, whoa, this matches perfectly for what we were talking about today.
Well, yeah, I'll give the good and the bad because it wasn't that's not like my choice.
Right.
Okay.
It's just kind of, yeah.
Right, but that's what's happened because I choose not to settle.
Amen.
Now,
That's
don't
right.
now,
like that. I like
put in
Look in the
work.
camera for the people in the back.
I choose not to settle. Okay, so it hasn't been that I don't want someone in my life, but of course you do. That God put us on here to love one another, to have
Exactly.
family, the whole nine,
Absolutely.
of course. But I have been through experiences with people and different cultures, different economic brackets, and they're just not befitting of what I'm used to. Because I have parents who've been married 53 years.
Beautiful.
I'm the oldest, and I'm 52, so I've seen them grow from young
Sure,
adults
sure.
And through all of their
Oh, yeah.
challenges, through
right,
marriage.
yeah.
and I know what it looks like, and I know what it feels like. I think that people nowadays who are out there don't necessarily have that same thing. So maybe what I might be looking for might be too lofty. I don't think that. I just think that because of the times, people are willing to do certain things or willing to settle for certain things, and I'm just not going to be happy with that.
It's not something that you necessarily chose. You are, seeking to have it right or not at all,
Right.
You want the right thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't think that many women choose it. I think it just that's the way that it just kind of goes while you're waiting. But
Right.
your career, you're going to throw yourself into that, and I think that we should because we're passionate. As
Yeah.
passionate women, and cheerful
Right.
givers, we give of ourselves, all of us, too. Would you say that that's what you've done? You've really given it your all? Because you listed a lot of your accolades of all the various things that you're involved in.
I think in my early 20s, that's all I wanted to see. I was actually engaged out of college, and he was one of my best friends, and we were engaged. And then I had to tell him, I really don't want to be a wife and a mother at 21. I want to travel the world. My parents gifted me with the desire to travel and seek other things.
Amen.
And that's what I did. I
Experiences.
left. Yeah, I got my dream job in New York. I was a publicist and then became a co-manager of a management company, Rhinestone Productions. My mentor, Joe Jackett, and he had the Barrio Boys, one of the biggest selling Latin artists in the world, and we would travel. And then I started working with a group called Proyecto Uno, and they were signed to Ola Records with Jelly Bean Benitez, and two of their songs were like on the top 100 songs, best songs ever in Rolling Stone. So that's the category of people that I was traveling around with and doing work with, and that was everything I wanted at the time. If I needed testosterone, I'm the only girl traveling with one group with 5 guys and the other group with 4 guys. So, I had a balance, but I think when I moved back to Houston and I slowed down and I was able to go, okay, maybe I'm missing something life, right? I'd go do shows, and then of course a part of me was like, well, I want to have a significant other and go to a concert or go to this or go to that. And I would put myself out there, but the people I would meet or the people that, I'd have these relationship experiences with weren't necessarily ready for what I was ready for. I'm into monogamy. I'm into transparency and honesty. I have no
Which
problem.
is the basic tenets of being in a relationship. Anyway.
Clearly not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well,
Clearly
you know
not.
what? Because of that's the thing. Today, it's very important to make sure you're equally yoked, so that you
Right.
can have that long-lasting dream, like what your parents had.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
accomplished.
And I'm not green enough to think, oh, it's going to be just like this, because different generation, different time.
Sure.
But I felt a lot of times I had to be the woman and the man in the relationship, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted a partner. I wanted someone
Order.
that I didn't have to think about everything and do everything and figure everything. It's like, if I have to do everything,
That's what big
then
by yourself.
what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to me to have someone to lay up with. That wasn't my MO. I wanted a partner and to build, and that wouldn't happen.
Let me ask you this. So we always say that your marriage is your child's classroom. And you said your parents have been married 53 years, right? What do you take away from their marriage that you actually can apply or give advice to other women that are in your situation? Not that you're in a situation.
No, I get it. What I take away from my parents, I take away that the vows that they gave to one another, though I wasn't there, I know what the vows were, and they emulate that. Good and bad, rich or poor, sickness and in health. I've seen that. I've seen, situations where they had to be really, and it was hard, be really transparent, because they were 20 something together. Now they're 77 something. All those years trying to learn each other. Then when they
Growing
first started
together.
off, my mom was starting in her career, right? And then my dad was in his career. He was the breadwinner. Then my mom's career started taking off. That's a different dynamic that changes her voice and changes how she feels and her confidence.
Absolutely.
And that changes how he feels. It's like, well, wait a minute.
And his confidence.
Right.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
always been the. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and they had to grow in that. Then they had 3 daughters, and by the time the youngest one's about to go to college, then here comes the only son, and you're about to retire. And you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with this little baby, right? So I've
This
seen
little
all
baby.
the changes and
Yeah.
the challenges, and the thing that has stayed true, and this is not corny by any means. My parents love God. They put God first. My mother will be in situations like with my father, and she's gonna put God on you. I'm gonna go pray. And there'll be situations where,
telling.
Yes, yes.
And my dad is so unique and humble, because he will say, you know what? I did this, and I'm gonna change this. I don't like this, and I'm gonna do this.
That's great.
It
And you know
takes-
what it is?
yeah.
It's shifting. It's shifting. It's making the shifts.
Yeah, and loving
because that's
someone,
what life is about. But
right, and loving
through
someone
it.
enough
To
to
do
go, I will do it, instead of having an ego or having a chip on your shoulder saying, I want to work this. My father is just dynamic to me, because he is a strong man, but he's a soft man, and he's a loving man, and he is not apologetic about the times when he has to show his softness, right? He's not
Yes.
intimidated by that. And he's not intimidated by my mom's strength. He celebrates it, right? And they don't ever let anyone see their cracks. They'll go home and they'll say, okay, now you did this, and I didn't like that, and you did this. They never, I've never had a situation like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Teamwork
I've
is the
never had that.
dream work.
Exactly.
That moment.
And let me give you your flowers, because when I was waiting to come in, and I watch people, right? And my father does things that are just organic, because that's just him. My mother does things that's just organic, and it's beautiful. When you got out of the car and you walked around and you opened the car and she waited for you and you walked her out, I said, okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's us.
That's
People
us.
are like,
And that was organic. It wasn't, let me
Not
go
only I've
do
been doing
the
this since
We've been
day
doing
one.
this,
I've
yeah.
been doing this my life.
But you're right.
How many people do that now, though?
Hardly any.
Just and that something like that makes a woman feel like, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I
Thank
got
you
one.
for that. Thank you,
know
for
what I
calling
mean?
that forth. Yes, that's
tell
the
our
king
daughter,
and
our
the queen.
youngest daughter.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, I'm like, don't you get that door? Oh, Mom, we got to get inside our reservation, or whatever. And it's just, she's in jeans or whatever. It's like you don't have to even be dressed up for it. It's just, it's okay. Let a man be a man.
And
That
I'm
is my
teaching
thing.
her how to, when
dating and all that.
Yeah, dating and all.
Courting.
That's how a man is supposed to treat you.
Right.
You're not supposed to get your own door. You're not supposed to walk in front of him and things like that.
He's
you
not
know.
supposed to come to your house and honk the horn and
Exactly.
you come outside.
Come on out. Yeah.
Who does? Like, why would you even think that's
Some
okay to
people
do
do.
that?
Some
Yeah.
Some people do, but
And-
as you know better, you do better.
Right,
Let
that's
me
true.
ask you this: how do you balance career and motherhood? You got a lot going on, Mama. How you doing it?
I will tell you, at first I was pulling my hair out of my head
Uh-oh.
because when God told me it's time for your family, and I was blessed to have my 2 daughters, I was scared out of my mind. So my parents were like, come home, we will help you. You've never done this. So for the first 6 months, I was at my parents' house, and then we found a house, and we had to wait for the house to be ready. And I was just, God, you charged me with such a big thing. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Called, honey.
Right?
He equips the called, right?
Right. So at first, I was like a turtle in shell. I hid. I didn't see anybody do anything. My focus was just my girls. How do I get their schedule together? How do I get them all the things that they need? And that was my life. And I was happy with that because the reward was these 2 little girls that are going to be happy and successful and feel loved and blah, blah, blah. And now that my girls are flourishing, we moved into our own spaces. That was they weren't ready to move. They're like, what are we gonna do? Who's gonna protect us? Pop. I'm like, baby, mommy's got it. And they had to trust that, oh, mommy got it. Yeah, mommy has it. Then we had to start school and do all of that. So now that we have our own flow and our own schedule, now it's comfortable. Now I'm like, okay, I can do work now. I can rebrand my company. I can, go to some shows. I can take my baby. So I think it just takes time. And it takes patience, and it takes organization. So
you got boss baby girls in the making.
That's
There
right.
you go.
That's right. Speaking of companies, let me give a shout out to our sponsors, which are Gracie's Restaurant, Valencia Couture, and GC Jules. So we want to always make sure we acknowledge our sponsors, and we will go to commercial break, but we'll be right back with Sabrina Lott.
Don't go away.
Lovin' Black with Tory and Teri is officially live across Apple Music, Spotify, and iHeartMedia platforms. At Lovin' Black with Tory and Teri, we cultivate positive love conversations, which means that your love is always in the positive. Join us as we discuss marriage, relationships, and singles topics, as well as answer your letters on air. To be a guest on the show, advertise, sponsor, or submit a topic, email us at loveandblack1@gmail.com. Find us by typing Love in Black with Tory and Teri in your preferred media platform. We now return to Love in Black with Tory and Teri.
Hey, welcome back. Listen, we are giving away a buy one counseling session, get one free offer. Go to iforeverwill.com, click on radio show, complete the form, and enter BOGO. That's BOGO. All right.
And today's letter of the day is brought to you by Gulf Coast Jules. All you got to do is go to @ShopGCJules and mention Love in Black with Tory and Teri and receive a discount off the merchandise there.
Yeah.
So today's letter, it answers the question about are you driven or avoiding, which we were talking about being married to your career.
Okay.
So, or some women just driven or are they avoiding relationships?
That's a fair question.
So let's read the letter. Dear Tory and Teri, I am 44 years old and living a lie. My friends, family, and colleagues think I'm a boss. But inside, I am living with the fear that I may not ever have more than just my career. I love what I do. I work, and I also am an entrepreneur. What you call it, mompreneur? I also keep myself busy from thinking of the time that is passing each day without any signs that it will produce my fairy tale. I can't deny that I want and dream of having a husband, family, and success. I have lightweight dated, but to be honest, I keep thinking, what if I choose the fairy tale and if it doesn't work out? What if you don't choose it and it doesn't work out? Anyway, then I've given up my financial security. What advice can you offer someone like me who really feels this inside and is faking their faith on the outside? You know, I think you addressed a lot of that, right? You know, if it's for you, it's going to happen, first of all. And that we firmly believe that. I mean, we've been doing counseling for a number of years now, so we know that if it's for you, it's going to happen. Right? You have to make a living, whether you're single, married, whatnot. During these times, I mean, you know, with gas prices sky high, it takes 3-4 incomes now.
Right.
So what do you think about what she's saying as compared to what you gone through?
Okay. My youngest sister called me out one day and said, I don't think you ever have a problem finding men or men wanting to date you, right? But you choose men who are unavailable. I was like, what? What do you mean? All of your relationships are long distance and on the phone, and you control how and when. You don't have to be there. Just when you finish everything, late at night, you can get on the phone, get your fill of conversation, and then when you're tired, you can go to sleep, and you don't have to put anything else into it. And I said, you know what?
Is that dating or just having a phone relationship?
That was, no, because I would see them once in a while.
Sure. Okay.
But it was just like, I did not want the pressure of having to go out, and I didn't. So,
work.
Right? I mean, the phone conversation was cool, and that was enough for me because I had everything else. I didn't need to go out because I was doing shows. If I wanted to go to a movie, I was doing movie screenings. If I wanted to travel, I had to go with this artist over here. So the only thing that was missing was after my show, instead of like calling my parents going, oh my God, the show was great. Oh, the show was this, and I would have someone to talk to, and that was fulfilling for me. Then when I moved back,
you were still talking about work though.
I would still, you're right, I would be talking about work. And then I finally, when I moved back home, and it would be funny because my friends would, I met this guy, Sabrina, does he live in Houston? Yes, he lives in Houston. Oh my God.
Ding, 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 the bell rings, right?
Finally, yeah, right. But then I think, I don't know what it is, my drive, my whatever. And some guys will think of it as attractive and go, I love that about you. Some guys get intimidated and they try to put me down. And I'm not doing that one. So that's an issue.
And that's what we mostly hear about.
Yeah.
That. And I think that's why the intrepidation from her is in this letter. It's like, okay, what if I choose the wrong one? Because
that's scary.
Most guys can't, my wife has this saying about most people can't handle your stuff.
Right, I do.
And when you're in that type of situation where you're the breadwinner, you're the one driving around in the sporty door, and all, and they're in the hoopty, and the egos kick in.
Even the ones that have their own thing, they're used to being
that guy,
the boss, the one that everybody looks at or whatever. But then if I'm the person that's coming and I have, J. Anthony Brown, or I have, your girl got this, you know what I mean? It's a different dynamic because of all the bells and whistles that come with what I do.
My thing is this, and we were, she was wondering, when is it going to come along? The right one will present itself to you. You'll know when it's the right one. It's something you'll feel, you'll definitely know. And then that's when you can make decisions, but you definitely want to just keep on your path and have a vision. I always say a woman should have a vision. I think where there's no vision, the people perish. So you have to have a vision. Map it out. Yeah. What do you want?
And I think with her, what's your end goal here?
That's what I'm saying. What do you want? You have to know what you want.
That money can't keep you warm. That money can't provide you that security that she so talks about. She's talking about financial security.
Right.
When it gets that time where somebody got to wipe your dirty drawers and stuff like that, that ain't happening. Right. You need someone that's fulfilling in your life. Right. And I think that we don't know the backstory, like how old she is, but
we do know how old she is. She said she's 44 years old.
At 44, I mean, you're right at the cusp where you're at CEO level or C-level personnel at that point. Where are you then?
Well, but this is what I was saying, and I want to get your take on this, Sabrina. You must figure out what it is you want. If you want the career, go for the career. The bottom line is you're in your career right now. Nothing else is really jumping off, right? So you're in your career, ma'am. So stay on your path. but you can still map it out of what it is that you
For
want.
sure. You're
Write
still
it down.
here.
It reminds you of Field of Dreams. Remember that old movie? It's like, build it and they will come.
Yeah.
Go ahead and write it out.
And figure
Pray
out what
on it.
type of man you want to date.
Well, yeah, but leave it to God. I wouldn't. I mean, of course, you have to have requirements, but where are you? I haven't heard anything about Christ. Are you saved? Do you have boundaries? Do you have conditions? Where are you? Right. So determine. Sit down, map it out. You want children? Don't let this be the deal breaker on having children. You can have children still. If you can't have them, you can acquire children by certain means that can help you, whether it's fostering, adopting. I would even start preparing my environment and village for that in the event that it comes to that. You don't have to wait for him to do that, and it doesn't have to necessarily start from an infant stage if this is what you want, but figure out what you want.
Exactly.
Because you sound all over the place. And the last thing I do want to say, which is face it until you make it, instead of faking it. Face it. I think that's where the answers lie. And I think praying on it, God will reveal. He'll equip you, for where he's going to take you.
Yeah. From my perspective, personally, I do admire a woman with a successful career, and I wouldn't be intimidated by it. Case in point here. For those of you in radio land,
Yes, I did have a life before I met my husband. Was very much in leadership.
Right.
So to me, it implies a lot of values and traits that I admire, such as having strong work ethic and the ability to not only provide for her, but provide resources for the family, right? So unfortunately, a lot of guys, and you mentioned this earlier, they don't think like that. They think in that archaic state where, I'm the man, I'm the breadwinner, and I got to make more money than you, right? We gotta get out of that thinking. We gotta put the egos to the side. I have an acronym for ego, and that's easing God out. So put the egos to the side. It takes two. I mentioned this earlier when I said about gas prices. It takes more than just one income right now. And teamwork makes the dream work.
Like her
so
parents.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sabrina, we want to thank you for coming on today.
It went by
Good
super
time.
fast,
I
didn't
know.
it?
It
Had a good
always
time.
does.
You must come back.
Yeah.
I will.
So if someone is looking for a manager or something, do you do that or what?
Give them your handles, darling.
My roster's closed because I have ridiculous clients that are killing me right now. Kylan,
You know this on the radio.
Yeah, shout out to Kylan. Hey,
What's up,
Kylan.
Kylan?
Freeman, yeah. So,
Yeah.
you can check us out every Sunday. We have a radio show on The Edge Radio on 95.3 Jams, and you can check us out on www.953.
Shout out to Peter Allen. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today here on Praise 92.1 and 102.1 HD2. Have a wonderful week. We love you. Make love, not war.